What does motivated seller mean in real estate? Guys, by the end of this video, you're not going to just only understand what a motivated seller is, but more importantly, what is it that you need to listen to so you can understand if the seller is actually motivated. Why is it that two different individuals can be talking to the same seller, one have an experience where he says, there's nothing there, there's just no deal, and the other one walking away with a contract that pays them $15,000. There are four things to look for, what I call the 4 pillars of motivation. Now, knowing these 4 things will either make the difference of walking out with a contract or doing no business at all with the seller. Now, I want you to pay attention to number 4 because this is the one where most people make the most mistakes. So what does motivated seller mean in real estate? The easiest definition is really anyone that has, any kind of seller that has the urgency to sell their home because of some kind of maybe distressed property condition or distressed situation. And even if that means they have to sell it at a discount. As an investor, we are trained to know that all good deals, not just some, but every good deal begins with a discounted property. And to get a home at a discount, it's really crucial that you understand that there's 2 main things that have to be in place to be able to get that home at a discount. The first one that we're gonna be talking about is the motivation. And the second one is equity. Equity, real quickly, is just the difference between what they owe on their home. Let's say they owe $100,000 on the mortgage and what the home's worth. And if it's worth $150,000, then hey, they have $50,000 worth of equity. Now, why is equity such a key component of this? Why do you need to know this? For example, knowing your numbers. If you know you can only pay $100,000 for a home, but let's say they owe $150,000, they're what's called upside down. It won't work out. You can't get that deal. There's no deal there. So not only do you need to have that motivation piece, but there has to be equity so that you can get it at a price that still allows them to walk away with some money. There are 4 ways or pillars to know if a seller has motivation. And knowing these and actually executing on these and understanding them and really working through these, this is gonna make all the difference on how you can get deals for 40 to 50 cents on a dollar, even in this extremely hot market that we're living in. So let's talk about that first pillar of motivation. What is it? What does it look like? It's called timeline, time frame, right? What does it look like for a time frame or a timeline? How does this add any value to know if someone's motivated or not? For example, there are individuals that have to close quick. We were on a deal just here local here in Utah. We're on the phone with the individual and they tell us, hey, we have to be out of here by Friday. We asked why, what's going on? What makes it where you have to leave by Friday? They were actually gonna be foreclosed on. Now guys, it was a Tuesday, meaning there was only a few days left before, boom, foreclosure takes place. They had no time. By understanding this, that this time crunch, what this also does is it eliminates one of their options, and that's working with a traditional real estate agent. So when people are like, I want my highest and best price, I want the most money possible. Well, when they have 3 or 4 days to sell, they lose that option because the best way to get highest and best for your property is gonna be listing it with a real estate agent, putting it on the MLS, getting a ton of retail buyers to come look at it. And because they only have 3 or 4 days, no one can close that quick. No one can get pre-qualified for their loan. They can't do their due diligence, their inspection period. So that option's gone. They now have to sacrifice price, sell at a discount so they can get someone like us, investors, to come in and close that deal in 3 to 4 days. Now you're gonna know really, really well when it comes to wholesaling, our second pillar is condition. You're gonna get used to this. You're gonna have people call you, and this is gonna be just going forward. You're gonna go into homes where you wish your nostrils didn't work. It smells so bad, right? And for most people, like, this house stinks. For us, I'm like, nope, this smells like a discount. This smells like money. There's gonna be bad things that you come into. Most homes that you're gonna deal with, you're not getting phone calls from people on your marketing piece that have a brand spanking new home that knows they can list it and get top dollar. That's not usually who's calling. The ones that are calling are usually have some kind of a distressed situation going on in their life or a distressed property, this condition that we're talking about. Maybe drugs have been in the home. Maybe there's been unkept. I just went on a property just last week. It was up against the mountainside. I'm like, man, this is gonna be a beautiful home. I go inside it and I couldn't believe what I saw. Every bathroom was disgusting. And in the basement bathroom, the ceiling had collapsed from the bathroom upstairs that was leaking for years, drip by drip, until the sheetrock and everything fell down below. There was mold all through the house. Guys, these are condition problems. What this allows us to understand is there's going to be motivation behind the seller. Why? Because most sellers don't have the money to fix up these properties. They don't have the time to fix them up. They don't have the know-how to fix them up. And so they're looking for other options other than fixing it up themselves so they can turn around and sell it. They're hoping they can find someone that will buy it as is. Now, some of these homes are going to be in such poor condition that they're not livable and they're not lendable, meaning people can't live in them because they're in such bad health code violation, maybe a high count of meth, or lendable because of the condition it's in. A retail buyer couldn't get a loan on it because they're going to have an inspection period, and the inspector's going to come back and say, this doesn't work. And the lender or the mortgage company is going to deny the applicant. There are condition problems. In doing so, that kills one of their options, which is a retail buyer. So now they have to look to us, the investor, to purchase their home. Before we move on to pillars number 3 and 4, at this time I'd ask you to hit that subscribe button. Also hit that bell so it alerts you when I put out fresh new content. This channel is dedicated to helping you build a successful wholesaling business. All right, our third pillar of motivation is driver. Now, what do I mean by that? What's driving them to call you on your marketing piece? When you send out a direct mail piece that says, hey, we're interested in buying your home at 123 Main Street for a fair cash offer, please call us at blah. And they pick up that postcard and everyone knows 50, 60, 70 realtors, but why is it that they picked up that postcard and why did they call you? That's our job. That's what we need to do as investors. We gotta understand that everyone that calls us is a motivated seller. There's some kind of motivation. They may not show it, they may hide it, but through great questions, we need to start understanding, why are they calling me? Why did they call me on a 37-cent postcard when everyone knows a handful of realtors that could be listing this at top dollar, but they didn't choose them. They chose to call me on a 37-cent postcard. That's our job, guys. The better we get at questioning what's going on in their life, what is preventing them from just listing this on the MLS, those are the questions you need to ask. Hey, have you thought about listing this with a real estate agent? They're gonna tell you, well, no, I've had one as funny as this. They're like, no, last time we did that a few years ago, they did these open house and they ended up cooking cookies in our oven so they could give it to people, and they burnt the cookies and our house stunk for like months. Like, no way am I gonna go back to that. And I'm like, man, to get top dollar over burnt cookies, I think I'll go for top dollar. But this is a pain to them. They don't wanna list it, right? We've had stories that other ones, my favorite question is, this seems like a nice home. Why are you considering selling it? Get to the pain point, get to the why, not how many beds, not how many baths, not how many square feet, how old's your home, who cares? It's, this seems like a nice home. Why are you considering selling it? The why, I want that. Well, we're thinking about moving out of state. What's taking you out of state? Do you not like living here anymore? Find the why. Don't be like, oh, those homes are great too. Are you buying a home that has 3 bedrooms, 4 baths? Like, who cares? Why? The driver, if you can find out why, if they're behind on their mortgage, going through divorce, they need to be out because they're getting foreclosed on, whatever it is, if you can find that, you'll also be on a good path to go get their home at a deep discount. All right, our 4th pillar, and this is the one where most people make mistakes. Remember at the beginning I said, pay attention. This is the one. I'm telling you that most people will pass on deals, good deals, hot deals, deals that I am and my team are trained to go out and get because most people will pass on these deals. The 4th pillar being price. Now, why do I share this? And I share this like with excitement because so many individuals, when I'm talking to them, I train students all across this great nation. And as I talk to them, they're sitting there telling me their feedback. I'm like, tell me a little bit about the experience. Tell me about the call. Tell me about how this lead went. And without fail, they tell me, I just don't know. I don't know if there was even that much motivation going on. I mean, I was talking to them and then they said this astronomical price. And I looked at it, I'm like, man, that's what the home's worth. I can't make any money on this. And they instantly get done with these leads and they hang up early. Now, you might be listening to this thinking, oh, I would never do that. Guys, I've been doing this for over 7 years and I'm guilty of still wondering, is this lead that motivated? Man, they want a high price. You have to be willing to shelf price in most cases because 99 times out of 100, it's gonna be a deceiver. It's not gonna be something that you're excited about. It's not gonna be something that gets you jumping up saying, oh, I gotta get out to this property. There's gonna be a huge deal here. In most cases, it's gonna scare you and say, but you must. You must move forward because they're gonna always tell you a high price. And maybe one time out of 100, they're gonna tell you a price where you're like, ooh, that's a deal. Let's go out there and go get it. 99 times out of 100, it's gonna surprise you, it's gonna shock you and tell you there's no deal there. But they're doing the opposite of you. You're gonna start low and work your way up. They're gonna start high and work their way down. Don't allow that to stop you. If they bring up price and it's too high, just say, awesome. It sounds like you know what you want for your property. Shelf it. Go find out if there's other pillars of motivation. And if so, book the appointment, get out there, and you'll find out that that price will drop. Hey guys, for more negotiation tips, tricks, strategies, all the things that I use in my own business and also that I share with my students nationwide, I've included a link down below that will get you into a free training for my negotiation, real estate, free crash course. All you gotta do is just click in that link, reserve your spot, get into that training, and I'll see you in there.